That's everything.
Big Boy's Neighborhood. Keke Palmer is in the neighborhood. Welcome to get the fuck off your phone
right now.
No,
Keke Palmer.
I need to be Instagramming.
Are you always like? Is that you on your social media,
That's
Keke?
That's always me on my social media.
That's
I'm
good.
always going. I gotta make sure I'm
you
keeping
stop
it real
that,
for the
man.
kids.
Come on, man.
Say hey to the kids.
What's up, kids?
Yeah.
Y'all should really see how she was in here cursing before we got live on the air.
Y'all
too.
already know how I am. Okay,
Man, and
y'all already know.
she here with her mom too, man. I love to see that, man.
That's
My
beautiful.
mom is the best. For
That's
real. My
beautiful,
mom is the
man.
best.
That's dope. And do she get on your nerves sometimes?
For sure.
I'm asking your mom. No, I'm just mom's back there like, oh, baby, yeah.
No,
So,
we both
Keke,
get on each other's nerves.
we're gonna just call you the entertainer, and the reason why I say the entertainer because you pretty much you do it all.
Too many
Thank
things.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
everything.
crazy because as we look at Keke Palmer, we're just like, okay, well, what part of Keke do we talk about? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what's up.
But that's beautiful, and you keep working.
Thank you.
And I ain't mad at you, and it's crazy because it's like we've raised you.
Yeah, no,
You know what I'm
seriously.
saying?
It's interesting how long I've been in the industry and like, you know what I mean, when I go around people and it feels like we already know each other, it's a really special feeling.
Really though, how do you think you were able to navigate from being so young in the business and us accepting Keke Palmer as an adult?
I think just being true and genuine to myself, the growing phase, like you're talking about, like being a kid and then becoming an adult, it can be very sticky, especially if you're trying to push it on people. Like, I'm grown, I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? So I never really, even when people tried to say, I'm doing this or I'm doing that, I never really was. I was always just being me and going according to how I was actually growing. When I was a kid, I wasn't trying to do no sexy, no vibe. But as I started to grow into my sexuality, then I'm like, yeah, baby, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for that. So I just was true to myself, and I made sure the projects that I was choosing were true to who I was at that time.
I heard that. Now, music now, once again, what's going down with you, honey? Hello.
So I'm working on my album.
Yeah.
First single, Wind Up, featuring
and
Quavo.
the album will be Wind Up as well, or is that a working title?
It's a working title. You know,
Sure,
I'm getting my title going on. But yeah, so Wind Up is the first single, and I just dropped a mixtape. Two actually. I dropped Lauren, my EP, and then I just dropped another record with my homegirl from the Bay. Shout out to the Bay, Raya.
Hey, now you got Quavo on the single as well,
Yes.
right? Now, how does that go about? Because Quavo is hotter than fish grease. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody.
And he definitely in a position where he pick and choose. So how did the relationship come together?
Well, we're friends,
Yeah.
so pretty much
But
I
I'm his friend too. He ain't doing no
Right.
verses for me. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, come
He
on,
ain't-
you're not Keke.
How did
Yeah,
you
that
guys,
is true.
How did you guys become friends, though? What was that first meeting like?
Well, the first time we met actually was when we did that record. Because, nowadays you meet people over Instagram and stuff like
Right.
that. So we pretty much have been texting since the first season of Scream Queens.
Go ahead now.
And when I was in Atlanta, he was like, yo, you ain't told me you was in the A. And I was like, yeah, well, come on down to the studio. He came to the studio and he heard we were working on it and immediately dropped on the verse. It's crazy how
you know
that
what's
happened.
dope about that? Because I would have
So
definitely
dope.
locked the door. Been like, no, you ain't getting out of here. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting out of here. Yeah, and on the single itself, you can tell that you're grown up by the language. You know what I'm saying? You got right in the pocket, man.
Grown and sexy.
You know.
Why you didn't call it the motherfucking Wind Up?
Well, they didn't have as much of a ring to it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure it had that ring to it.
Gotcha.
You know.
So you working on the album now? How far before you feel like you're done?
I'll say it by the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna take your time with
I'm
it.
gonna take my time because this is my second album. You know,
Yeah.
my first album was when I was 13.
Go ahead now.
I'm about to be 24, so I really
That's
want to make
crazy.
sure. Isn't that weird? It's so weird to me that, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like I'm 80 years old industry wise,
Right.
but you know,
like, in industry years.
in industry years I'm about 80, but in real life I'm like 24. So for me, I want to make sure that it's what I want to say right now.
It's so much around the corner for you as well, though.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
Like it's gotta be. But and even with the album coming out towards the end of the year, you working constantly.
Yeah,
though, right?
absolutely. I mean, I just dropped That's the Gag, which is my
Yeah.
YouTube show, youtube.com/Keke Palmer.
Hello.
And That's the Gag is pretty much a mockumentary of everything we've been talking about.
Hey man, and you know what's crazy about that? Now, see, you did yours. I had the same kind of, like when people say, "Oh, it's like a curb," and it's like a,
Yes,
and I'm
yes.
like,
But we can all do it because I mean, you can look at what Real Husbands Hollywood, same type of vibe, but it's everybody's version of it. You know what I'm saying?
I heard that. Would you do a reality show?
I would.
Really though?
I would. I actually just moved to Atlanta, so to me, like I'm closer to where I want to be. Atlanta to me was more the vibe for me at this time in my life.
Yeah.
I've been so surrounded by the Hollywood scene growing up in LA that I was really ready to go to some place where I could still focus on my music. I could still create, my TV shows and all that type of stuff, but I would have have the ability to have more of a personal life too, because
I
you know
heard that.
Atlanta has that grounded,
yeah.
you know, feel to it. So
yeah, and you can slow down a little bit over it. You come out from eating, it's like you know what I'm saying?
In LA, it's like is every situation a networking situation? Is everything
Oh,
and it
man.
ends up turning into this thing where you're actually not doing any work at all, and you just start chasing a tail and feeling like you have to be places that you really don't need to be.
I heard that. Well, you figured that out early.
Right.
I just figured that out like almost 3 weeks ago. I was like, hey man, you know we need to work together. Oh, you gone? All right, Quavo. All right, then.
You know what the reality is you need to be doing stand up.
You know what, man? No, I'll sit my ass down. That's a whole different world, baby girl.
No, you are really hilarious,
Stop that.
dude. I'm serious. You got to do that.
Mike, are you hearing this? I need to be
needs
with the
an agent.
agency. Good Lord have mercy. Got one of the top agents in here. She bigging me up. He just looking away. Good Lord have mercy, man.
Mike,
Pay attention, bro.
Mike is acting like he don't hear
Yeah,
nothing.
he done
over there,
tapped all into his
da, da,
sexy
da,
and
da, da.
everything, man. You know what I'm saying?
He's very tapped
he ain't
into
got
that.
no. Oh my God, man. Yeah, man. Say what now? Yeah, I missed the
I missed
old
the
Mike.
old
Where's
Mike.
the old Mike?
Yeah.
Bring back the old Mike. From what he used to be like.
Keke, you have been in the industry for such a long time. What have been some of like the major disappointments in the industry?
Oh, the major disappointments is that I think coming into the industry was that it's all a gag, literally. Like
man.
realizing that
That's the gag.
seriously.
Oh, that's a gag. Go ahead now. Hello.
Okay,
There it
give it a
is. You know what I'm
little
saying?
tune.
We gotta talk to 2 Chainz about it too, though. But you're saying like it's a gag.
It's a gag that it's not. You know, the entertainment aspect of it really is a great facade because it makes you believe that it's not as much work as it is. And then once you realize that, it's like, okay, well, it's all in my hands. I don't have to wait on these people to be involved. I don't have to wait on this person to approve of me. It really is all about me doing it myself and then being able to create through entertainment the idea that this and that is happening.
Do you feel like it's easier now that you have a direct line to your audience when it comes to social media and you know what I'm saying? Like you can shoot something and have it done. And we as an audience that is already there, we mess with you.
Anybody that was trying to hold me back, the internet was the worst thing they could give me.
Yeah, man.
Because when I tell you, it is the most immediate way to interact with my fans and my millennial generation, you know, which is totally, I always call myself millennial diva. Because I'm all about giving the kids what it is they want.
Hey, make sure that we grab that
Yes,
as a website and everything.
Diva.
So when she want to do something with it, she got to get it back from us. All right, don't be talking about millennial diva.
Hours.
Get that right now. Get it right now. Go on GoDaddy and get me millennial diva
Right now.
and get
Trying
it
to
in
steal
social
my
and
stuff,
everything.
y'all. You
No,
hear
we
my
ain't trying to
people?
steal it. This is business. Don't take
Right.
it personally. You know
Sorry.
business. You know
That's
what
the
I'm
other
saying?
part of the business. People be out here trying to stab you in the
Oh,
back.
yeah. But I stab you in the front, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I look at you right in your eye like, yeah, die, motherfucker. You know, like,
Dab and twist.
Yeah.
Dab and twist.
But so you, and you can reach your audience
Yeah.
for whatever projects that you may have.
Yes, you can reach them immediately, and you also can see what it is they like and what they want, and that inspires you. Like when I started saying that's the gag, I was it was taken by storm that they reacted to that way. And I have been dabbling in comedy since I did True Jackson VP on
I heard that.
Nickelodeon. But when I seen that, I was like, okay, I really want to go further with it. It inspired me. Their reactions inspired me, and then I created a show because of that. So it also is just it builds the relationship, and creatively it is a guide for you too.
It's crazy how organic certain things are too. You know, like you can sit down and think, oh, I got to do this show. But then when something kind of comes to you, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this was given.
Yeah,
This
you
was
have to
given.
follow it. That's what I've learned, especially when I do so many different things at once. It's hard to be. I mean, I can't do everything at once and still give it the same quality. So I allow myself to be guided by those kinds of things, whether it's somebody contacting me about a project or it's me living my life out through my Instagram and social and then saying, okay, well, this is where I want to go next. You know what I'm saying?
Do you read the comments and everything too? Are you all over social?
Sometimes
if
I read the
something's
comments.
crazy.
Sometimes I read the comments. Like if it's something that is pertaining to my creativity, like with That's the Gag, when I just dropped that, or when I just dropped Wind Up, or my music, my EP, whatever, I look at the comments because I want to see how the fans are, reacting and engaging into it,
Yeah.
especially visuals, because I just love giving them visuals. And so that's when I look at the comments. But when it's like, yo, so-and-so, Keke was spotted out, and then I'm like, oh, hell no, I can't read that.
You get in a couple
Seriously.
words like, oh, I see where this is going.
Okay.
Yeah, and how many followers you got on Instagram? Over 5 million?
Over 5 million.
Good Lord have
5.2, I
mercy.
think.
Even your point got more than us.
Good night.
No, for real. You know what I'm saying? I said, I was like 5 point, and she was like, what is it, like 5.2?
Yep,
So I say
5.2.
over 5 million, but even her point she got more than us on just her point. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah, we got work to do.
No
man.
robots either. No robots.
Really though, I need to get some robots in mine, nigga. My
Me
number,
too. Mine was
you know
a
what I'm
low,
saying? I need
man.
some robots and dinosaurs and all
Sad.
kind of little
He said
floor vacuum
dinosaurs,
cleaner,
y'all.
all that.
The
You know,
robot.
go ahead now, Natalia.
What's the dating scene like in Atlanta now that you've left LA?
That's half the reason I went over there. Huh?
Hell.
Hey, now that's the
Damn.
real gag.
Hell.
But I haven't been there enough. I've actually been in Berlin working on a TV
Damn.
show called Berlin's. I know I'm to be too many places.
everywhere.
I'm working in Berlin on a show called Berlin Station where I'm playing an agent. So I haven't been.
How
at
long you
home.
been in Berlin?
Literally for 4 months, dude.
Are you
Damn.
serious?
Literally, and I just moved to Atlanta this year, so I was only in Atlanta for like a month.
How is it in
Well,
Berlin? Just walking around or just like,
Yeah,
are you
exactly.
good?
No, it is just like walking around. It's a culture shock because it's not anything like I expected. I mean, I don't know if I expected anything going in, but it's just totally different. You know, it's a liberating city. It's very liberal. People are very just who they are. You know, I think that's what I love about it. But at the same time, I don't know anybody,
Right.
so it's really kind of hard to engage and go out there and not be like, oh, you know what I mean? Because I don't have no friends out
So
there
do you
with
have
me.
to go back or you?
I do. I have to go back August 2nd.
Damn.
I know. I have to go back
That's
August
around the
2nd, and
corner.
then I think either I'll go to the end of August or maybe end it in the middle sometime. I don't know, but you know, I might be having my birthday out there because my birthday is
Damn.
August 26th.
Who's in Berlin with you?
Well, my mom just came, but
Okay,
before
cool.
then it was just me and my assistant.
Damn.
But then I was like, I need some love.
Hell yeah.
Mama.
Yeah,
please.
man.
Oh,
You know
you're
what
coming
I'm
to
saying?
Berlin.
Seriously.
Can your assistant cook?
No.
Can your mom cook?
Yes, she
Oh
can.
yeah, easy
Yes, she
call
can.
it. Yeah,
He said easy
yeah,
call, easy call.
that would have definitely been like
But
mama.
excuse me, I learned how to cook while
Oh,
I was
really
out
though?
there because I didn't have much to do, so I just started cooking and making myself some. You know, I learned how to make McDonald's type French fries.
Go ahead.
You know, I was looking at
All the things from the crib, like man, let me see here.
Got a lot of oil.
myself of home.
That's
See,
just
any
potatoes.
Mr. Jim's barbecue out there? You need no teeth to eat Mr. Jim's beef. No, but you were saying about just relationship.
Just
and
like, I
everything.
guess it
Okay,
would
yeah.
be hard too because you are working so much.
It's difficult because for me, it's like I don't know who I'm dating. Like I don't know if I should date people that's in my industry or if I should date people outside my industry. Like when I date people outside my industry, they don't really understand what I'm doing, and then their attempts to understand what I'm doing kind of irritates me because it's like you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Like, don't be asking me no questions.
You know what I'm saying? And like you're inquiring and it's just really exhausting.
Right.
But then when I talk to somebody that's in the industry, I'm like, this is too much industry. I need you to
Right.
stop.
It's everywhere.
This ain't a record.
You need to get
We're not
somebody
in a
that already
film.
fell off. You know what I'm
That was
saying?
in it. And
Yeah.
That's right.
And they're just done with
Get
it.
somebody that fell off. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Like that understand it a little bit. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? Like
Or
yeah.
somebody really old.
Right,
Literally-
right.
I was just saying,
seriously,
Get you one of them
because-
old ass
Yes.
cats that fell off.
I mean,
There it
who
is.
could it be? Michael Ealy.
Yeah.
Oh my
Nah,
God.
Michael Ealy too good though.
Michael
He's
Ealy
so
didn't
far.
fall
Yeah,
off.
we can't
He's
say
just
Michael.
older. He's just older.
There's a couple names
Nah,
in my
he's
head,
fine
but
as
out of
hell.
respect, I won't say it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, Michael. No,
He just older. But I
Michael
mean,
Ealy.
for me, it's like it's hard. I think it's the same thing for me that it is for everybody. I think
Yeah.
a lot of times sometimes my fans or people will be like, I know you got guys all over you, and it's like it's not like that. You know
Have you
what I
ever
mean?
been in love?
And then probably some.
I
Go
been
ahead.
in
What you
love?
say? What did you say?
If she's ever been in love.
Hello.
I've been in love, but I think in love is an emotion. I mean, like a fleeting emotion.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, even though I've been in love before, being in love wasn't enough to make us love one another and really make the choice to be together. Like, I don't know. It's so many levels to it for me. I don't know sometimes. I'm like, I don't know who I'll end up with. You
Do
know?
you want
have
to
a
get married
type?
one day?
You know, I can see myself doing the ceremony,
Right,
but I
yeah.
don't know about getting married. It seems
What?
so contractual.
What you gonna have like a fake ass?
Right.
Exactly.
What you talking about?
You
Fake
gonna
with
that's a
fake
gag
weddings.
us? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I really have thought about this in my mind where it's like we ain't signing no papers, but we gonna go in the backyard and we gonna do it in God's
all.
eyes.
All right.
We gonna have my
You gonna
dad
get
be the
dressed?
pastor, my dad's a deacon, he gonna serve.
Is
the
your
blood.
dad a deacon for
he
real?
Is, yes.
Your dad ain't gonna play along with that.
He is. He'll talk because I'm like, Dad, look, I'm not trying to have this man come after my money when this stuff go down. Like,
Pops.
we're not about
You
to play
already
with this.
setting it up for failure.
You are so crazy, yo.
Where you gonna get married in
I don't wanna
divorce court?
share nothing.
Hey, she
okay?
gonna get
So
married.
crazy,
She gonna
dude.
get married in divorce court. You know, she already just shooting it down.
I'm getting married, but I'm not really.
Man,
getting
Because you
married.
know what?
Girl.
People change. People change.
do.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
That's what I've really learned. That really is the thing about life is that nothing stays the same. And it doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. Things will change. And sometimes it'll go in ways you wanted to go, and other ways it'll go in ways you didn't really want it to go. But either way, you have to roll with the punches and prepare yourself for whatever's to come. So for me, I'm like, yeah, love is great, love is fine, but will you love me tomorrow?
Yeah, go ahead. You got your guard up a little bit.
I love her.
Get the hell away from me.
Where her nails? Wait, she's right there.
Man, you know, I don't. You drop it down on one knee. I'm about to kick you in your face. I don't know what you was doing, man. I was just trying to sweep me off my
feet. You're gonna wake up like later and be like, "You're still here? What are you doing?
What are you doing in my bed?"
She be Ubering the dudes on. Man, you gonna get up?
Yo, Uber's outside.
Okay.
Go.
I literally posted on my page, I need somebody as emotionally unavailable as me.
I heard that.
Okay,
Can you imagine you at the crib? The man got the blanket like, oh,
that is great.
I need you to know when to leave.
I feel bad. Yeah, man.
We need to talk.
I want to eat breakfast by myself. You know what I mean?
We gotta go.
We were just talking about relationships as well, and there was a thing where you said you wouldn't mind hacking your boyfriend's social media.
Oh yes, back
Really
in the
though?
day, not
now.
Not now because
Okay.
I realized how detrimental that is to the trust of a relationship.
Right.
But when I was younger, baby, first of all, I'm very good at like being in tune with how people might think or what, especially when I get to really know them. I know that's so weird, but I'll be able to know like, oh, his password is clearly KP1555. I can literally figure the
Like,
stuff
oh, mama's
out.
boy, that's his mama's birthday.
Exactly. I can tell by the personality. So I used to hack into my old boyfriend's accounts and just see
You said
everything.
accounts.
Psycho.
Honey, what I would do is hack into their email and then close out their Snapchat, their Twitter, and their Instagram. And by the time that they've gotten to it,
man.
by the time they've realized what I've done, I've also changed their email password. So you're
so
locked
good.
out
That's how you
for
recover
good.
the passwords through the email. Once you got the
Yeah,
email, you can
Lord.
recover everyone's password. Like, I forgot my
Damn.
password. Recover it, send me an email. Damn, girl.
I know that was a lot, but every time I was right. Every time I was right and they led me to it. That's why I
Right,
can't talk to these athletes.
Really
They're
though?
too much.
Have any athletes tried to get at you?
Oh, yeah.
Really though?
And my mom is so cute. She's like, Keke, I really think that the athletes, I think that you could date an athlete because they understand discipline. You know, they work hard and all this type of stuff. I said, yeah, but mom, they also are used to girls throwing themselves at
Yeah,
them.
man.
They're used to this lifestyle where it's not comparable to me. Because first of all, I have to work. I'm not there all the time.
Right,
I'm not
yeah.
around any beck and call. And if you're used to be a girl being around at every beck and call, I'm not the girl for you because my passion always comes first.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, until I feel like I'm, tired. Whenever that is.
You gonna
Some
find
men don't
pictures of your
understand
mom.
that.
You gonna find pictures of your mom with like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or
Right.
something back in the day. You be like, oh, this is why you trying to get me with an NBA player. Like, girl, they long and lean, baby. They long and lean until they retired and they fell out a little bit.
And I was just saying, it's hard to find men who are secure enough to be able to understand that, support it, and be okay with it, and not need to go out and find validation somewhere else when their woman is going out and working hard to get their own. It's hard.
Girl, it really isn't in your mind because these guys make
Hold
it
on,
seem
Louis.
like
We should leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the girl talk, bro.
They're trying to balance.
We're allowing
don't
you
bounce
into
y'all
the
need to hear this so
circle.
y'all know
I'm
to
just
never
the
do this.
intro man. Big Boy's neighborhood.
What's happening right now?
Seriously, these guys, the problem is they say on the tweets, even in
The
conversation,
DMs.
they're always like, I want a girl that's about her business. I don't
Yeah.
want a girl that's out
I
here
want
that's trying to live
independent
up.
woman.
Exactly.
But they're not really about it.
The moment that they meet an independent woman, they're like, who are you?
Right.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
You don't
Literally
need me.
Literally.
Oh, my God.
I don't get that, girl.
You're
So
not
my
giving
thing
me
is,
enough attention.
wouldn't you like it better if I actually wanted to spend? Look at them.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you
yeah.
like it better if I
Exactly.
wanted to spend time with you
Exactly.
as opposed to needing to spend time with you? What type of
Exactly.
pathetic person do you want me to be? And by the way, I need y'all to know that Big Boy's up in here reading.
Oh, my bad.
during this
I didn't know.
conversation.
Louis with his weights, trying to get all manly.
I didn't know that you
They're
got.
trying to get man enough for you.
I was giving y'all space for girls talk. The new
this is why you guys
webisodes that's
don't
going on
learn.
from Keke Palmer.
this
But
was a
this is why
brilliant
you guys
episode.
don't learn because you
It's
weren't paying
crazy.
attention. We're dropping knowledge.
What
You're
did you
supposed
say?
to pay
Yo, man.
attention.
My bad, I wasn't paying attention. What did you say?
Out. We're
All right,
dropping
y'all stick
gems.
around, y'all radios.
He's hilarious.
We got the Reverend Keke Palmer, life coach Keke Palmer in the neighborhood. Yeah, Keke Palmer's
Well,
neighborhood.
Took over.
Show you right. Yeah, it's
Y'all
almost
the
to the
ones with the
point.
good questions.
Say what now?
Y'all the ones with the great questions.
Oh well, hell, we just
asking.
hanging out here, and I don't think we asked you one thing that you ran away from yet. Good Lord, have
never.
mercy, man. All right, now, was it Kodak Black that said Keke Palmer is cool? Like she all
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Is that where it
But-
started at?
Yes.
You know what?
On your name?
Yes, it actually is. You talking about the whole thing where people started coming at him?
Yeah, when he was
Yes.
like,
And my
but he
thing
don't really
is,
rock with
I
black
have to
girls
be
like
honest,
that.
why do everybody feel like it's needed to say I'm not into black girls. Like, I mean, everybody's not into something.
Right,
but you
right,
don't
right.
say it. You know
Right,
what I mean?
yeah.
Exactly.
I don't get why it's nobody. I'm sure
Exactly.
there are plenty of guys that's not into white girls or Mexican girls or Indian girl, whatever. But they don't go out their way to be like, I don't really like
Yeah.
white girls.
diarrhea.
Right.
I don't get why people are so quick to be like, I ain't interested in black girls. That's weird to me.
And when he said that Keke Palmer is straight, but I don't really, I'm not really into
That
black
was the
girls like
gag
that.
in itself, baby.
There you
That
go.
was a goddamn gag.
because we're, at first were you like,
Did you
man?
have a shot?
Oh, there you
No
go.
offense.
No,
No offense.
That's
You know
what
what?
I'm
I'm
saying.
not coming for you.
Right.
Because you did come for me, but I'm not coming for you.
I heard that. It almost kind of sounded like you did.
You
but-
did. Actually, you
You know what I'm
did.
saying?
Just a little bit.
You
No,
really
but
did, but
just for the
it's
record, we
cool,
say
right.
that she ain't really coming. Just
I'm
together.
under
like-
the table.
Yeah, just for the record, she ain't really coming for him. So,
Not at all.
so there it is right there.
You
So,
think
so
you had a
we could
chance.
definitely knock Kodak Black out of your phone
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
All right. So do you have like we were just talking about like sports guys, entertainers
yes.
that do try to talk to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do you say miss me with that?
Sometimes I don't say miss me
Oh,
with
hello.
that. I'm not very even though I am kind of guarded. I'm not like the kind of person that won't hang out or won't talk or won't
Right.
meet.
Have
or
you ever
won't buy.
dated anyone famous, or is there
Yeah.
somebody I should know?
I've dated people that famous, but you know what happens a lot of times when
Did it
two
ever
famous
hit the
people
public?
date, maybe almost
do some
did, but
research.
I'm the kind of person where it's like I'm very careful with this industry stuff
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people don't realize what these industry datings is that a lot of times it's for brand, it's for
Yeah,
brand,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
for
That's
a
crazy.
specific look, and for me it's like first of all I'm not sharing my brand with nobody
I heard that.
for what reason, you know what I mean? To me that's not what love is. It's me sharing my brand, and then secondly a lot of times these guys don't know that I know what it is they want from me, and it's like I am a beautiful girl, I am a
Yes.
fun girl, I am
Hello.
a nice girl, but I do have a 15-year brand, and I know what it is that you want to be a part of. And if I don't feel you're authentic and you're genuine, and I know what you're looking at, then the relationship doesn't go that far. And that's a lot of times like when I've experienced dating in the industry, is like guys they'll be thinking they're slick and sly, and they'll be like the paparazzis is on us, and I'm like, okay,
Oh,
baby,
yeah,
end it.
yeah, look at
You've
this.
tried it,
Let's go out the
and you're done.
Let's go out the front.
They're more interested. They're getting more interested and amped off my career. I can't wait till you do movies like Catwoman and da da da. And it's like, honey, you're excited about my future, and that's cool, but you're excited because you want to have
be connected to it.
Exactly.
Like we own.
Exactly.
Yeah, we own.
You ain't trying to have a baby, is you?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. So I can secure your bag.
So
no.
what famous guys are we talking about, Keke Palmer?
Can't
I
tell
found
you.
some on the
Tell us.
internet.
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
Just
Oh,
say,
I don't know, no.
Just say yes or no. Real or unreal?
Quincy.
Quincy who? For, Diddy's son?
Diddy's son.
Alicia? Oh, okay.
Quincy and I are like family. Like, you know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, we're like family. It's not.
Not
Yeah,
saying
you
it's
could
not
be after a
true.
breakup.
Right.
August Alsina.
No.
No?
All the light skinned cats, huh?
I don't know who this guy is.
You don't rock with no dark guys. Huh? I don't really rock with black guys like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not
Yeah.
true.
She
My
over here,
last boyfriend-
she Nikon yellow, Kodak black cousin. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta love her over here. You gotta love her over here. All right, throw another one.
Some other guy, I honestly don't even know who the hell he is. Rodney King?
Rodney King.
Not that one. Wait, I know who Rodney
He
King
did,
is.
girl. We did the riot over Rodney. Remember? Can we all just get
Wait,
along?
I know that Rodney, but obviously it's
Oh,
not that
man.
one.
He
That
was
was, my
just a
first,
baby.
that was my first boyfriend. That
Who
was
is
like
he?
He's
Tell us about him.
He's a normal guy. I met him through. Actually, I did a movie with this guy named Patrick Johnson. What's up, Patrick?
What up, Patrick?
We did Jump In together, and then when I did True Jackson VP, I always stayed in touch with Patrick, and he brought this friend down to the True Jackson VP set.
And then Patrick was probably like, damn, I always liked her. You know what I'm saying? It's a cold piece when
Patrick
you
has always been like my big brother. I don't think that.
Okay, all righty.
Meek Mill?
Meek Mill.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I did hang with Meek. I love Meek,
Okay.
but not like.
You
a
ever tapped his
relationship.
crotch or anything like that? Okay, just check it. Just check it.
Y'all should
Yeah.
see the movement he did. He tapped it.
All right, is there another name on there?
That's about it.
Wiz Khalifa.
Oh, I love Wiz, but no, it's not. Like that.
Snoop Dogg.
I love Snoop, but he's a little bit too much. Older.
Ice Cube. I'm just naming what's on the wall right here. You gotta excuse me.
Ice Cube is like
I'm just naming the
athletes
pieces
like
that's
that.
behind you. Chris Brown.
I love CB, but we've never dated.
The Game.
Definitely never dated.
Okay,
Terrible.
we're gonna knock Kobe off.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Kobe, I love. Odell Beckham.
Oh,
No,
okay,
I just threw
Who
his
was
name
you
out there
about
because
to
everybody
say?
dates him.
It just hit me. Trey Songz, but I guess that ain't.
Oh wait, yeah.
He right here.
Yeah,
With
he
Song.
is right
No.
there. He
Yeah,
is.
No.
Okay, yeah, we that just hit me like okay.
That's when you pause. You're like,
It all
well,
coming back to
she caught my pause though. I was like,
she's like, what?
because you
like who?
You and Trey, y'all did have. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, show you right. All right,
Yeah, he
are y'all in
said
a better?
show you right.
Yeah, I don't even
You know
want.
what?
I don't even want to tap
I
dance
haven't
in
even
it.
spoke
Are you
to
guys-
him.
So okay.
I haven't
that's-
spoke to him. You know, like I'm one of those people where it is what it is. Once, especially when time goes by, then I'm like,
Yeah.
cool about it. But at the end of the day,
You know what it is.
I know what it is, exactly.
But weren't you guys friends for like a really, really long time though?
Yeah, I've known them like because there was such a big age difference. It wasn't like we would be hanging out constantly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Until I became an adult, then it would be like more we were able to really have somewhat of a friendship. But I first met him when I was 12. We had the same product manager, work at Atlantic, both signed at the same time. So there was definitely a history of like, man, I'm proud of you. You proud of me.
And sorry to bring this back up, but did you ever really try to hit him up and like give him the phone call instead of going on social media?
Yeah, we did. Well, he never was reciprocated. I don't know if that's the word, but he never reciprocated. He always was doing the whole manager thing.
God damn.
Wow.
It.
Yeah, because I remember like when you went on social media about it, and then he was trying to call you out for not calling him.
Yeah, because I originally said it face to face. I'm one of those people where I don't need to call you.
Right.
If I told you, like that's like me saying to you, girl, don't call my boyfriend.
Right.
I don't want you calling my boyfriend into your face, and then I see you hanging with my damn boyfriend.
Right.
It's like, well, at this point, you know what my point.
And then be like, why you didn't call me and say not to hang out with him? Like,
I told you. I looked you in your eyes and told you. But people are people, and that's the whole thing with the industry. And it's hard when you're in situations like that, and you, as a female, you're trying to make sure that you're not being taken advantage of, and people respecting you. That's the thing people don't understand. Like, really, in the industry, women are not in the industry. Women are not given the respect that they often deserve, and it's very hard to know how you should display that you're not to be messed with. You know what I mean? And you just try to do it to the best ability that you can. And for me, that was, one of my first encounters. I didn't go to high school or, I didn't go to college. So a lot of social dynamics I missed.
Wow.
So that was the first kind of scenario where I experienced something that made me feel like I was being taken advantage of, or my youth was being taken advantage of. And I was like, well, this is the best way I know how to be like, yo, don't mess with me. Like, don't mess with me, because I'm not somebody that is going to take lightly to it.
When you're in Berlin pretty much,
Yes.
working, you know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Any more plays or anything? Let me ask you this. You're probably going to love this. If there was one play that you can jump in right now, what play
Like
would
a
that
show.
be? Yeah, just like a musical,
Yeah.
something. What would it be?
Probably like My Fair Lady.
Really though? What about you, Natalia? Which one would yours be if you could just jump
Oh,
right
gosh.
in?
Hello, it would be Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Girl, yes, Hamilton was amazing.
Oh, you seen it?
Girl, it was so good.
She's Keke Palmer. Of course she's
I
seen
know.
it.
I know, but I got my tickets. When it comes to LA. I'm gonna see it. So yeah.
Where
I
did
will
you see
be
that?
there.
Where you saw
I
it
saw
in
the
New York?
original cast.
You saw Glenn.
When I tell you, and it, honestly,
Are you
Jackson.
telling us or are you bragging? Which one is it? Because I
I
want to
love
put it in
it.
the category.
Brag for me.
Are you sharing it with us?
bragging.
Okay, all right.
No, literally, when I went, you guys, I have to be completely honest. I didn't know what to expect. But when I was doing Cinderella, everybody was auditioning for Hamilton. So I had been hearing about it for a whole year, and I'm like, I really wonder what this is going to be about. Like, I know it's going to be rapping. I know, and then I'm like, it's about Hamilton.
Yeah,
like,
didn't
that
it
was
sound
really
like
weird.
it wasn't going to work? Not that it wasn't,
Boy,
but
it
yeah,
sounded exactly. It sounded crazy to me. And then when I actually went to the show, you guys, I was blown back.
Yeah,
and it really
man.
brought tears to my eyes because, first of all, I always say, to me, rap is like rock and roll, but for this era. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that look how far it's come, where but first people act like, oh, this ain't nothing.
it's
We want to listen to this
fad,
some bull
trendy,
stuff. You know, this is just urban, whatever. And now it's like, no, it's everything. It
Yes.
is the thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with rock and roll. When you think about when rock and roll first began and how people viewed that, and then it pushed so far to the forefront and mainstream, and it became something that everyone understood, loved, and admired. And that's how I feel about rap. So to see it in Hamilton like that, I was just like, it brought tears to my eyes because it's like, we made it.
And you were doing Cinderella at the time. You said other people were
Yes.
auditioning.
Yes.
Did it ever come across you to do Hamilton, or were you like,
would've
man, I ain't
loved
doing
to.
that?
No,
Like,
I would have loved to done Hamilton, but it never was the opportunity like that.
How long did you do Cinderella?
I did Cinderella for, what was it, 6 months?
And that right
4
there,
months?
man, like,
Wow.
if you could do Broadway, a play, a musical, like just the recall of doing that live all the time, does that make television something scripted or a movie? Does it make it a little easier?
I think it does, especially when I had just come off of it, because I
Right.
was like, woo, you know what I mean? Being the same character every day of the week, and then you don't get as much time to be off of it because, you know, we're doing so many shows, and including matinees. But it really gave me a really great sense of confidence and self, because to be able to do all that, I never ever thought, y'all, I'm telling you, because I started out in film. You know, my first thing ever was barbershop too. So I never really did anything theatrical like that. You know what I mean? And for me to not only get the opportunity to do it, but to be able to sustain all my shows, I never missed any days. I was just like, dang, I couldn't believe myself. And I was just thankful to God, like, thank you for this. You know what I mean? Like, Keke, you can do anything you want to do.
What was your biggest mistake, your mess up? You know, because it's live, so I'm
You're not
pretty
ready for this?
sure. Oh, yeah.
What?
I messed up the whole lovely night.
Really though?
One show, it was literally, can I just tell y'all, after that, I was like, there is nothing, baby girl, that you can't experience and bounce back from. Because when I tell you I was on stage and I literally was singing Lovely Night, and what happens when you do Broadway or do theater shows and you do them back to back to back to back is you become on autopilot. Everything kind of becomes, you can be somewhere else and still be there. But this night, baby, my synapses got crossed and I literally forgot the whole Lovely Night. And I was sitting there looking at the people, smiling at them and just doing the movements, walking around until I could try to gain back my memory of the words by doing the movements. And I swear to you, like, I don't know what those people were thinking or if they even remembered it happened, but it was the most horrific experience of my life. I literally just felt like I was about to have an anxiety attack.
Putting other words in.
Oh my God. And then
you better back that ass up. You find them, better back that ass up. Like, damn. Raindrops. Drop tops. Here it is.
Remixing it.
The music conductor was like,
yeah.
like telling me, trying to get me
trying to shoot it to you. And then Trump stood up. I told you that black man shouldn't have been in here. Okay, Trump don't even sound like that.
I was literally thinking that in my mind. I was like, Trump doesn't even have that accent.
He tried it. He tried it.
You just figure all racists do. My bad.
Oh my God.
No, but and you
bad.
were the first African American to do Cinderella?
Yes, Cinderella on Broadway. Because, first Broadway, it was my girl B.
Hello. What up, Brandy? What the pickle, my nickel?
Brandy did Brandy. When I just think about all the stuff that she did throughout her career and has done continuously, like first Black Cover Girl, like Major, like Barbie doll.
Yeah.
Barbie doll.
And a good, beautiful brown.
Oh my.
You know what I'm saying?
Amazing.
And sing her ass off, act
So
her
talented.
ass off. Opportunities given to other people as well. Like,
she gave me my first. Let me tell you about my journals have been my best friend since I was a kid, because growing up in the industry and my parents being so protective over me, which I appreciate, but it was very stifling at that time sometimes because I was alone. I didn't have anybody to really relate to. It was hard to be friends with the people on the sets because I didn't know if they were to be trusted. I didn't know if anybody could really be trusted. I didn't go to school and couldn't really hang out with anybody. So I started writing in my journal, and Brandy gave me my first journal.
Wow.
When I was 13, I will never forget, she wrote on the cover, she said, "I am who I am because you are who you are, Brandy."
dope.
Wow.
And I will never, and literally from that moment and that moment forward, she told me, she said, write in these. And she's always, still to this day, been somebody to tell me, I see you, I know what you experience, I know what you're going through, and never forget, you don't have to chase anything. You are already what you're looking for.
Dude, I love her.
Wow, that's beautiful.
I love her too because Brandy has been through
it all.
everything.
Yes, she has.
You know what I'm saying? Like #1 show, #1 albums, back to back to back.
And really, when you think about opening doors and kicking doors open, or just taking the door off the hinges,
Right.
Like she did that, man. I
mean,
love her, and every time I see her, man, Brandy is always so just beautiful,
So
just
humble,
good to be around. You know when you feel somebody that's just good.
Yes.
That is Brandy, man.
Absolutely.
And we don't say it enough.
We
You know what I'm
don't. We
saying?
don't say it enough.
Yeah,
and
man.
I'm like, get it together.
Hello.
Keke, even though only 2 seasons of Scream Queens, do you feel like you guys told the story you wanted to tell and you're okay moving on?
Well, I didn't know, with Ryan Murphy, you never really know where he's taking something. So I really do, when I'm working with him, he also doesn't give too much information, which I kind of like. It's fun and it's surprising for you working on the show. So I can't say that I had any ideas or where I wanted the show to go. I was really just following him, and, that's literally what he said, was he felt we told all the stories we could possibly tell, and I was fine with that. And just in my mind thinking, I'm looking forward to us working together the next time.
You could think you maybe try to get into American Horror Story?
I would love to.
Yeah.
But he's so specific. And that's, again, what you love about him, because when he hires you, he wants you to do exactly what you are going to do with it. He knows what type of entertainer, actor you are, and he wants you to do that role for those reasons. So I know when he does call me, it's no question that he was specifically looking for me.
Nice.
Well, tell him to
That's
call
awesome.
us too, because we looking
Yeah.
for work too.
I am going to miss that day, though.
Like
I am
real,
gonna-
Help us out.
You see what's so
Real
funny?
talk.
They actually worked That's the Gag into was that. I could not believe that. When they did that, literally almost dropped a tear from my eye. Like, y'all really mess with me.
Go ahead now, as they should. You're a good person though.
Oh, man.
Oh, your mom's shaking her head. Hold on, what's going on? Mom was like, baby, no, baby, no, baby, no. You know what I'm saying? Point to a bruise on her arm, like.
She winking, trying to help.
Yes.
What sign are you?
I'm a Virgo, September 8th.
And that's what I knew.
Hello.
Honey, Virgos are spectacular.
Stop it. Yeah, it is
No,
true.
literally, Michael Jackson,
Go
Virgo.
ahead.
Beyonce, Virgo.
Really, though?
Mother Teresa on the spiritual tip. What more do we need?
Man, was Michael Jackson a Virgo?
August 28th?
Yes, he was.
I should have known that my whole life then. That's why we click like that.
Yes.
Exactly. I'm telling you, Virgos are beast mode.
No, you stop that. It is true though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is true. I mean, I wouldn't say best sign. I would say the best zodiac
Exactly.
sign. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. What sign are you?
Virgo.
Oh, hello. When is your birthday?
August 26th.
Go ahead now. I'm September 8th, man.
Hey.
We got to do something special on your dime though. I want you to
Okay,
forget.
that's right. You know,
We definitely got to
you
do
know.
something, but
I'll
on your
go to
influence.
Berlin and celebrate for your
Yeah.
Oh
birthday.
yeah,
We
because
need
you're gonna
to
be in
go- we need
Berlin
to go
now.
somewhere much warmer. I'm thinking some place like Miami, someplace like
I was just trying to keep you
Cabo.
company while you alone in Berlin.
Right? Yeah.
Rachel's like, I was trying to have your back.
We was, yeah,
I'm with you on the tropical tip though.
we'd go over and hang out
Like
with
the
you
beach.
in Berlin, all expenses paid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you was,
all expenses paid.
yeah, you said you was
you
lonely.
want to take care of us.
Well,
We wanna
I,
keep you
Do you have
company.
any
We'll
friends,
reconvene.
Keke Palmer?
I have friends, but
You
I
have
don't have a
us.
lot of friends. I have like friends I can count on hands, 3 friends.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, you had a process
it's
of
better that way.
elimination too, though,
I
huh?
did.
Like,
you know what? It's hard losing friends.
Quality.
You know
All
me?
your friends
Quality
female?
over quantity.
Yes, most of my friends are female.
Okay.
Yes. I have a couple of guy friends, but guy friends, they get tricky, as y'all know. It's like,
They be trying to
you
want
was
some
never my
more.
friend.
Here we
And
go.
it's like, when
You
you
ready?
find out that a guy
Take a break.
friend was not really your friend,
That sucks.
you guys, that is really disappointing. Like, I had this one guy friend that we were like, that's my boy, that's my boy, that's my boy. And then I realized he wasn't my boy. And I was just like, so
Damn.
this whole time you were just being fake? Like, you actually should be an actor. Can I be your agent?
Go ahead now.
Because the level of a facade that you put up,
Yeah.
it was Oscar nominated.
Wow.
But girls, y'all do the same thing to each other.
We
No.
don't.
Y'all be like,
Each
man, I
other.
thought that was my homegirl. I thought
To
that was
each
my
other.
yeah. Man,
No, but
girls.
guys got to get out here with these. I'm a genuine dude. Like, I'm really different than any of these
I'm not
other
trying to
cats.
be friends with benefits. I just want to be your friend.
Y'all hanging out with some stupid ass guys. Don't blame it on us. You know what I'm saying? Don't blame it
Where
on
the
us.
geniuses at?
Over here. All the geniuses are taken.
Married. Exactly.
Yeah, there
I
it
was
is.
just
Well,
gonna say that.
Taken.
Good luck.
But some of
It's
them be
hard.
coming out the woodwork.
Good
trying
luck.
to do too much.
Has a married man ever tried to hit on you?
Not a married man, but a guy in a relationship. I don't know what's up with these girls. What's up with these guys in these relationships that they don't want to be in? When you want to lie to somebody, you want to be a liar constantly.
They're liars.
I don't get what's
Listen to
fun
this.
about being in a relationship and lying about it. Why
When
wouldn't
a
you just
woman's
tell?
fed up.
Seriously, it's weird. It's totally weird.
You can cry an ocean.
Come on,
that
Till
song.
the
Kel.
ocean
Kel's is
starts
another
to
best
form.
one.
Yeah.
That's a great song, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Men should really pay attention and listen
Well,
to
when
what
a
he's
woman's
saying.
fed up.
Yes. Because there ain't nothing you can do about it. When we're
Go
fed up,
ahead,
we're fed
though.
up.
Now we gotta give them money because you're doing all the lyrics. See what they're trying to make it sound like
Right? Like,
she just
I
made
came up with this.
Go ahead now, Big Boy
Big
Neighborhood,
Boy.
Keke Palmer. Definitely want to thank you for coming into the
you.
neighborhood and hanging out with us, man.
Y'all are fun.
We got to do this again. What you doing tomorrow? No.
I'm actually going to
I
Atlanta.
think that they gonna start like a podcast
Yes.
or some kind of other show. Keke Palmer.
Come on, Keke.
Y'all know I turn
Natalia.
everything into a venture. So if y'all are down, I'm down.
Let's go.
Okay.
Because her mom was sitting over there writing notes.
She's like, hold on.
Yeah.
I like those
And
two
then,
girls.
and then Mike was over there like, man, I think we got something here. Let me see if I can run this past the people. Because I really ain't no people because I green light everything my damn self.
I am the people.
Yeah, but,
Really
but,
so.
I don't got to fake like there's people just in
Yeah.
case 'cause I don't want to mess up my relationship with Big.
He's fake
You know,
emailing himself
but no,
right now.
yeah.
So.
But no, thank you for coming into the
Thank
neighborhood.
you.
This is our first sit down, and
That's
I really
dope.
enjoyed this.
Me too.
I really
you know, I've always
enjoyed
been a fan
this.
of yours.
How you
you know,
stop
since
that?
we first came to California,
Thank
all we
you.
be listening to is
Go
you.
ahead now. Well, I appreciate that. I was looking for you to say that. It took us so long before you said it. Usually people say when they first walk in, but
Better
well,
late
if
than
you
never.
wanted to wait to the end, I mean, no, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, what you say is what?
Better late than never.
Better late than never. You know what I'm
I
saying?
ended on the best note.
Yeah,
Hey.
because I even text Mike. I was like, Mike, is she gonna compliment me?
Save the best for last. That's what she was doing,
Didn't
babe.
you tell her how it is?
And I would look over from time to time and like, Big, I don't know. I sent it to her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He's holding
looking
up
at
note
her phone.
cards.
I don't want to solicit it. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for the compliment. It was-
Seriously, it's
it was-
100%
Oh my God,
true.
yeah, it was well deserved. All righty, well, Keke Palmer in the neighborhood. Thank you for hanging out with us, my love.
Thank
It is
you.
Big Boy's
Big Boy.
neighborhood.